What is up, rockers? My name is Shinchi42. Welcome back here to another Rise of Kingdoms content. In today's video, we're going to talk about Boudica pairing with Nebuchadnezzar versus YSG. If you love Rise of Kingdoms content, consider subscribing and turn your notification on. If you find my content great, now if you press like into the video, it's pretty much giving me a virtual high five or a virtual thumbs up, and you're letting me know that I'm doing a great job on the contents that I am making. Now, to get started, let's talk about Boudica. Boudica is a really good commander, which I have pretty much all my equipments in Boudica already, all of my legendary gears. Boudica is a very strong commander, and I believe a lot of players love Boudica. Now, here's the downside of having a Boudica. You will get targeted when you use Boudica. Players will find Boudica and target that first, because it is a very strong commander, and it is archers, which is players love to target. Now, here's the thing. Boudica is amazing. It really depends on how you play. And the way I play with archers, you cannot be the tank. You cannot be the hero. You got to let your other teammates, which is their infantry, you let them tank. You follow them behind them and attack. Because, you know, if you're a carry, you don't tank, right? Tank tanks, carry doesn't tank, all right? So that's pretty much my concept when I play the game. Eventually, you get caught, you get killed, and that's pretty normal. But try to survive as long as you can. Deal a lot of damage while you're surviving. And using Boudica will let you have this ability. Let's take a look. Since I've recruited Boudica, I now have 3 million kills, which is pretty nice. Let's take a look into the Boudica skill. Now, Boudica has a high damage factor of 2300, and then increase their skill damage taken, which is the enemy, by 35%, reduces the marching speed of the enemy by 30% for 3 seconds. Really good. If you're facing an infantry, which is a very, very slow unit, you get to reduce their marching speed by 30%. You get to hit them with a high damage factor with Boudica, which is really nice. Now, Boudica is really good commander. I highly recommend having Boudica. Increase archer units by 30%. Increase archer units attack by 30% and their marching speed by 10%. Now, when we get to slow our opponent, we also get a 10% marching speed bonus, which is amazing. That allows us to catch up, hit the enemy, cast a skill, and eventually eliminate the enemy. In troops led by Boudica, archer units gain 30% increase defense, which makes Boudica tanky in the field, especially if you're getting swarmed. The defense let you survive better compared to not having any defense, of course. When the troop has a fewer than 80% of units remaining. So, typically you get into the battlefield 100%, and you get knocked out a little bit, get battles and all these stuff that happens within the open field. Then what happens is that Boudica becomes fewer, Boudica leads the units, becomes 80% less. Then that defense of 30% kicks in. I like that skill better than, than maintaining an 80%, right? Because most of the time you're lower than 80%, so, right? So that's when you take effect or take value into the skill. All right. Third skill, reduces the skill damage taken by troops by 25% while on the map. The meaning of while on the map, you have to be in the field, the greens. If you go into a mine and you get attacked, this is not going to be applicable. When taking skill damage on the map, damage for the troops' next normal attack has a 50% chance to increase by 25% and a 25% increase by 50%. Both increases can trigger independently once every 7 seconds. So there's a chance for 50%, for 25%, and a 25% chance to increase by 50% for normal attack damage bonus. The fourth skill here is when attacking troops, you get to receive a healing after using a active skill. And then the kicker here for against infantry units, archers deal 5% increased damage to the infantry. The healing effect can trigger once every 7 seconds. So the biggest takeaway for the skill is really the damage towards infantry for extra 5%. Really good, because majority of the time players use infantry defense, and with that, using Boudica, you get to break down that infantry defense. The last skill increases damage dealt by archers by 10%. When under controlled effect, the troop has 80% chance to dispel them. increase archer defense by 10%. So increase archer damage dealt by 10%, right? So we're also getting archer damage already. Increase archer attack. Increase damage dealt by archer 10%, which is really nice. A lot of damage from Boudica. When under controlled effect, the troop has 80% chance to dispel them. Alright. So these are the controlled effects. Includes effects such as silence, disarm, and heal immune. So, Boudica is basically a DPS, has a high amount of damage. Really good. Highly recommend it. The only down part of this is that people love to target Boudica. Now let's first talk about the pairing of YSG. YSG is a very simple commander. A commander that is, majority of the players have, and, a lot of us recommend having YSG. YSG was once, back then, was available in gold chests, but not anymore. All right? That's how I pretty much got my YSG from the beginning. But for now, you have to obtain YSG through the Wheel of Fortune. Now, before we get started with the combinations in here, I want to challenge you guys to leave it down in the comment section below. Which one do you think is better? Is it YSG or NAB in the open field whenever you are going to choose for the pairing of Boudica, NAB, or Boudica, YSG? Let me know in the comment section below, and let's kind of see the notes, because I want to see everyone's opinion. There's nobody's wrong with that one, so you can never be wrong. Point out your opinion, because there might be some insights that I don't know that you can give me some insights, and maybe in this video I get to give you some insights as well that you're probably not thinking, and make you or help you to decide on the combination better. Alright, so with YSG, Rain of Arrows, which is the first skill, we know YSG is a commander that deals a lot of skill damage, and this is pretty much the AoE skill damage, which is circular shape area. Once expertise, the skill damage becomes a circular area of an effect of a 1700 damage factor, but each target then reduces by 15%. YSG has a chance of 10% to increase its rage, and then archer attack bonus of 100%. YSG is a garrison commander. We're not going to talk about this since this is not important for Openfield. Troop led by YSG will gain skill damage bonus of 50%. Now, YSG doesn't have a defense by itself with its skill, but when you have unlocked the museum, that's when you get the benefit of YSG's new skills. Increase defense by 10%, which is great, and then skill damage increase by 3%, so that becomes 53% skill damage, and then you get 10% defense. Now, makes YSG slightly tankier. All right, so now let's talk about Neb. So Neb is a much newer commander in comparison to YSG, because YSG is a Gen 1 commander. Neb is really good as well. I like it. Neb deals direct damage in a forward-facing fan-shaped area up to 5 targets with a 1500 damage factor. Now, what's difference between Neb and YSG is YSG does circular damage area. Neb can only do forward-facing fan-shaped area that targets 5. Now, YSG has a higher probability of attacking everybody, because in a crowded area, there's players in front of you, there's players behind you, there's players beside of you, so YSG's circular area is amazing. Now, at the same time, with Neb, it can deal additional damage to the current target of a damage factor of 500, which is great. It kind of complements with that missing damage that YSG has for that extra 200 damage factor. Alright, so when you're targeting, great for 1-on-1, so this could be said that it is great for, like, rallying. If you're going to be rallying, you don't use YSG, please. Use Neb instead of YSG. Alright? Second skill, Archer defense passive skill of 30%, and then Archer march speed bonus of 15%. Now, complements with Boudica. Boudica can lower the speed of the opponent. Boudica has a marching speed bonus as well. Now Neb also provides a marching speed as well. Makes your march much, much faster than using a YSG. Now, with that, you can attack the opponent, chase them a little bit, or run away. But for the most part, you cannot run away from cavs. You can run away from infantry because you're super slow, and you can chase infantry. Third skill is for rally, so we're not going to talk about that. This is the best choice if you're going to do a combination for rally. Last skill, trip led by this commander deals 15% increased damage to each normal attack, has a 10% chance to reduce the target's rage by 100. Now, YSG gives you 100 rage, right? Provides you that, allows you to attack, do more skills. Basically, you can hit many more players with YSG because it allows you to give more rage. You get to cast skill better, you get to cast skill faster. Then you get to hit more players. That's the benefit of YSG. Now with Neb, this is great for 1-on-1 because it can reduce the rage of the target. Great for rallying situation. All right, that's a key thing. Now, the expertise basically enhances the first skill here. So let's look at your comments. I don't know what you guys said there, but I'm going to definitely look into the comments because I want to see what kind of insights you guys have done. So hopefully you guys took some time to type a few things, pros and cons maybe, and, YSG and Nebuchadnezzar. So I definitely would love to read your comments and just check them out, kind of see what your insights are. Now, here's the thing. I did some basic testing. I've been doing ruins lately. I've been fighting in the KVK. I've tried YSG in the beginning, and now I'm using Neb. I like both. Both yields great result, but which one is better? All right. So we did a basic testing in here just for 1-on-1. We did a testing for just for barbs. For simplicity, you can see that Boudica and Neb deals, great damage. Of course, we killed the barb. We have remaining troops of 235, 559, severely wounded of 66. All right. Now, the heal is 7,000. So keep that in mind. Heal here is 5,000, much less. We have much less severely wounded as well, 58. All right, 66. With that being said, 235, 559, and then 235, 172. One thing to consider between these two reports is also the heal. But the main important thing is severely wounded, right? Because that's what goes into our hospital. So, all right. YSG is great, I would say, if you are in a budgeted situation. All right? YSG is great. Them adding the museum buff for YSG is awesome. It allows you to get that 10% defense. Great. But if I am to choose, I would rather go for Neb than go for YSG in the field. But I'm still going to be playing around with this as well. But for now, I choose Neb because of all the setups that I do. I do Ramses and YSG. I do the Boudica Neb because of the defense of both commanders. As I mentioned, right, Neb has a defense of 30% bonus. In an open field battle, especially when you're using Boudica, you get targeted. I need that defense to counter those targets. With YSG, I only get 10% defense. If I'm running away, I get hit a lot. I get hurt a lot. With Neb, it gives me a little bit of a chance of fighting, and then I get the marching speed, allows me to kind of run away, get reinforcement from my teammates, and attack the opponent. So, ultimately, I would say Neb is the better use for Boudica combination between the two, if you're going to choose between the two. I don't have Henry yet, so we're going to talk about Henry when I get Henry eventually. YSG is great if you don't have Neb. Use YSG. You get to hit a lot of enemies in the surroundings. Let's take a look into my Neb. Since I just got Neb within this date, I already have almost close to 1 million kills, which is really good. But with YSG, let's take a quick look with YSG. I've still been using YSG. I have now 44 million kills on YSG. So YSG is really good. Really great for crowd control, but lacks that defense. 10% is not a lot compared to 30%, but you get that high skill damage bonus. My point here, ultimately, Neb is better than YSG in open field. Let me know. I'm going to look in your comments and see what your reasonings are. Nobody's wrong. Just type it in. I want to know. All right? Let me know what you think about my reasonings as well. Basically, in open field, you want to be able to move in and move out, have defense. If no defense, you get swarmed. It's really hurt. It's really gonna hurt. If you don't have marching speed, you're gonna get trapped. You're gonna get left behind. You're gonna get chased. So that's one thing that I want to mention, highlight there, the importance of those things in Rise of Kingdoms. With that being said, rockers, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you find this video good and enjoyable and also resourceful. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of the video and as well as future contents. All right, let me ask you what you want next. Press like as you head out. I'll see you again next time. Thank you for watching until the end. Peace out.